to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
I gotta go back to grandma's. My mama.
Okay. Raw was boring.
Shit.
It was boring. The top commenter of the day goes to Kayla because Kayla came in when I went live. She did not post before I went live. So Kayla gets top commenter of the day, along with Nika, Jay, and Lil 1316 and Aaliyah. So y'all get top commenters of the day. Thank you for coming in and coming in on time. And the only way you can get top commenter of the day is you come in when I go live, and I will make sure to acknowledge your comment. Okay? Love y'all down for coming in early and on time. But I'm just going to tell y'all like a TI is. Raw was worse than SmackDown, if I'm being honest with you. And this is not good considering the fact that we are 2 weeks out from SummerSlam. And there wasn't really much going on Raw today. But I mean, we just gonna, keep it funky. This was your main event. Cool, love that down. The only problem I have with this is this particular type of main event should have happened next week and not this week. And the reason why I say that is because you had a whole moment where these guys were fighting, and then it ended up where Jacob and the bloodline was standing tall. Okay, cool. And I'm pretty sure next week is going to be an attack from the other three with Knight, Sokoa, and Keys going after them and having their moment. And I love that for them. Let them do that too. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, y'all. This just seemed like it didn't seem like this was the night for you to do this type of thing. This should have happened next week. But maybe I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know much. Was it a good match? Yeah, thank you, baby. Sans all of the interference, it was a good match. But my favorite match, hands down, for real, was actually this match. And it had nothing to do with Theory or Braun Breaker. It had everything to do with Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee and Javon Evans are a perfect duo. Whether they're teaming it up with each other or going against each other, they are fun and infectious to watch. And Javon Evans was the best part about this entire show in terms of the beginning of this show and the match. He was the best thing going on that match. It was so much fun to watch him. He was countering everything. He was making sure he hit all his cues. He protected everybody he was supposed to protect. He was perfect in every aspect of the game. And what really makes me angry is that they aren't really giving Javon Evans any more traction. He's kind of spinning his wheels a little bit. Since there is no tag team division, you've got a perfect opportunity to create something good with Dragon Lee and Javon. But where were the Street Profits? Where were they? They lost their titles and then you pull them from TV? Like, what's going on? How does that make any sense? How does that mean anything? I'm trying to make logic of what we're watching, and it's just not giving what it's supposed to have gave, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's just weird. You're doing weird booking, you're doing weird things, and you're not maximizing the potential of feuds, especially with them tag team titles. You did all of this to give the tag team titles back to the fucking Vision, only for them to get into a feud with Alpha Academy. And don't get me wrong, I love a good storytelling moment. But like I said, you could have been did this story earlier, around the time when Logan Paul wasn't injured. Okay? Like, am I fucking crazy? Are we in the Twilight Zone? Does anybody understand what I'm saying? Because you waited until SummerSlam time frame to then flush out Maxine and have them beat up the fucking Alpha Academy. You could have did this months ago. Like, it just don't make no sense. This is not a SummerSlam worthy match to head into SummerSlam. This is not it. Now, here's the only thing that will make me go, okay, that makes fucking sense, is if the Street Profits show up and cost Theory and Brian Breaker these fucking titles next week. If the titles are on the line against Alpha Academy next week. That's the only thing that makes fucking sense to me. The only thing. Hello, main event. How are you? Same to you, fam. Yeah, that's kind of the go home show image you want the week before you need it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Respectfully, dude, I agree. I didn't like it either. I thought it was a shittier show than fucking SmackDown was. At least SmackDown was entertaining. Raw it just didn't hit like it should have. And I'm just not, I didn't care. I just didn't care. But look, the best part about this whole scenario was Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. They had a great showing in this match. Javon Evans was perfect. When I say he was perfect, I mean he was perfect in every aspect of the game. He just did sensational in his match against the Vision. However, they got beat down. Brian Breaker and Theory were able to cheat to pick up the win, per the usual. It's just starting to get very repetitive and very predictable behavior from everybody. There's nothing new happening, or at least there's nothing clean happening. And I'm just getting tired of the same tropes being used to do everything. I'm not saying that you can't have people stealing wins and cheating and all that other kind of stuff, but make it something that doesn't happen as often as people want it to. Like, my problem is like what happened on Saturday Night Main Event, because I didn't do a full review of it. I did do a video of it on my over here on YouTube, and you guys can go back and watch that, and I'll tell. That's basically how I felt about it. But there's not a lot of like just straight up wins and losses, period. There's always some type of interference in every single match almost. And it just makes it not watchable. It checks you out of the show. And I'm not saying that you can't have those things, but I am saying that they need to do more to build up feuds and make it so that you get clean wins. Like, Liv Morgan has more clean wins than all of the members of Judgment Day combined. Like, she has more clean wins than most of the people on the current roster. It's just getting to the point where it's just not fun to watch anymore. It's not fun, and I need it to be fun again. And this is they're taking the piss out of it, mate. And I hate that. So we're gonna move on because the match itself was good. It was just a lot of interference. And then afterwards, Alpha Academy came out. They thought they got, something going, but unfortunately, they were beat down and taken out by Austin Theory and Braun Breaker. And it was just like Maxine sat on the ring post and watched like it was a fucking TV show, like she was watching the World Cup. And I'm just like, okay, can we move on now? Like, are we done? Are we done? Because it's not fun or as interesting as people want it to be. And maybe it is for you, but it isn't for me. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel about it. It's just not fun to watch. Anyways, this was a match that happened on the show. Penta and Chad Gable teamed up to go up against Ethan Page and Rusev. I didn't really care about this match either because Penta and Chad Gable are going to fight it out at SummerSlam. And I'm like, is SummerSlam next week or the week after? It's next week. Okay, so what is happening? Why are we doing this week? You could have had Gable go up against Ethan Page by himself, and then Penta came out for the save, and then they got beat up. You get what I'm saying? Or you could have had Gable go up against Rusev by himself. Not in a tag team match where two of the people are opponents in a week or so. Like, somebody's got to make sense of this. Like, the math is not mathing, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. It is the Raw between Saturday night's main event and the go home Raw, so you knew it was going to be mid at best. It didn't have to be. That's an excuse. It could have been better. I'm sorry, but they've had shows that were like right before their final go home show, and they were great. You know what I'm saying? They've had moments where they could do it. No, I'm not going to give them that. I'm not going to give them that. It's a bullshit excuse, in my opinion. They have the tools to do something great. There are plenty of women back there who could have competed on the show tonight. We haven't seen Soul with that championship in 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. She has wrestled, and now they have her scheduled to go up against she's going to wrestle Raquel next week. And I know I'm not crazy. Didn't she wrestle that lady before for that championship? I swear she did. No, Kevin's in there. It's below average. I agree. I swear that she wrestled that lady once before. And I'm not crazy. And she beat her, did she not? I'm not fucking crazy. She did. So what are we doing? How come you didn't get that title shot to Roxanne? Roxanne right there. Okay. So what? They had, if I recall, wasn't what's the name out there? Fucking what's her name? What's that bitch's name? What's her name? Liv? Wasn't Liv out there too? They all were out there. Like, it was the whole thing. Like, I'm just irritated, and I just did not care for the show, and I'm just gonna shit on it. So y'all just gonna have to deal with me shitting on it today. I'm gonna do it. Rusev and Ethan won the match. I didn't care. I don't care for Rusev, so nothing that he does impresses me or gives me any. I just don't give a damn. I just don't care about nothing he got going on. I don't like Rusev. I think Rusev is holding Ethan Page back, and I think that he's not fun to watch. He's not interesting to watch, and I just don't care. I just don't care. I know I'm not crazy. I thought so. So what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? It's ridiculous. Anyways, I just didn't care enough. I just didn't care enough. Gable and Penta won. Okay, great for them. Good for them. I don't care. I didn't care for the match. I don't care for them winning because it was unnecessary. This whole show just seemed to be unnecessary. The only match that I actually cared about was the first match that we saw. Then, okay, so there was a good chunk of Raw that actually was entertaining, and most of it had to do with Danhausen. The biggest problem I had with this was that whatever happened at Saturday Night Main Event should have ended this. It should have been over. Like, you lost the no disqualification match, right? Even though you had help to win it. JD McDonough, you lost it. So my problem is, why are we still going after Danhausen for the money? At this point, the money's fucking gone. It's been a month, bitch. The money's gone. Let it the fuck go. Because after SummerSlam, are you still going to be going after Danhausen for this money? Because not only is Danhausen gonna be competing at SummerSlam, but he's gonna be competing against Dominic fucking Mysterio. Like, don't. I'm like, fine. I love this for Danhausen. I'm not mad at Danhausen. I'm just irritated with this entire setup and everything that they have done. It's just pissing me off because you have so much potential to do great things and you're squandering it for these little bullshit ass moments in time, and all these likes and views on social media is all you care about, is just these pockets of good things. You don't care about a cohesive, free-flowing show that actually is worth clipping, not a show that has good clips in it. Do you get what I'm saying? You're wasting our time. And I know that for a little kid watching it, it's a different thing for them. They're not seeing what I'm seeing, and that's okay. So I'm not shitting on it for their sake, but I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. It is because they rest on their laurels from Fanatics Fest and MSG, and we're not pointing forth the required storytelling. Do you think longer matches and fewer segments would have been better? No, I think better segments and decent matches that actually had storylines or feuds would have been better. You have nothing. You have nothing happening with any of the storylines, the matches that they had, except for the match that had Jacob and LA Knight in it. And to be honest, that's a mid-card show. That's a mid-card match. You had no main event, no true main event. It's no shade to Jacob, right? Jacob being the main event of the show is fine. I had no problem with that. But it hasn't been built to make it worthwhile to put him in the match. You hadn't done anything with him. The smarter move would have been to put the match against Solo on Raw. And I know that sounds weird, but he had the prior feud with Solo, and he already has an issue with Solo, and he's been trying to get his hands on him. He only got his hands on him once. That would have made more sense to me. You putting in a match with LA, then you had LA cut this long ass promo. No shade to LA Knight. Love you down. I'm glad you're getting your time. But it's being wasted. It's being wasted. Can you please go in there and stop that thing from clicking? If you don't mind, sir. I want better shows. I want better matches. I want better feuds. The longer the matches isn't going to change anything. A longer match isn't going to change anything. It isn't going to fix anything. What I want, the match quality isn't an issue. Match quality is fine. The matchups are good. They're not bad. The show is not bad. You didn't capitalize on Lyra Valkyria beating Bayley this past Saturday at Saturday Night Main Event. You did nothing with her, left her off of the show in its entirety. No vignette, no nothing. Now, if she's injured, nose messed up, you could have at least let her have a venue or a little crossing with Sol Ruka backstage, something. You didn't do that. You left us to our own devices. Speaking of Saturday Night Main Event, You had Roman Reigns come out there. It took Jalen Brunson 6 minutes to come down to get to where Roman was. Then it took Roman another 6 minutes to come out there. That's 12 minutes that we were sitting there looking at bullshit. Okay. Then he's out there and he's talking. He talked for at least 8 before what's his name? Halliburton? Tyrese? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They all look the same to me. Look, before Tyrese Halliburton brought his stupid ass out there, and then you had then we finally got an interaction between you and Seth, and you get a spear. Then we gotta watch this man grab the fucking. I'm so mad I can't even talk. We had to watch this nigga grab the motherfucking trophy and hold it up in the air. And that was how we ended Saturday Night Main Event. When we should have ended on CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Huh? Hey man, am I making sense? Because what are we doing? I don't give a fuck about Roman being the tribal chief. I don't give a damn. You mean to tell me for 20 minutes we had to sit there and listen to you glaze over on fucking Jalen Brunson? He got that enough at the damn parade. He gonna get it again at the ring ceremony when they get their rings in a few months. So what? I get it. New York won, and I'm not shitting on New York's win for championships or none of that. I'm happy for them because I know how they feel. You feel what I'm saying, JJ? You feel me? I know exactly how they feel. So I'm not shitting on them. This ain't their fault. This is WWE's fault. I'm just trying to understand, what are we doing? Where are we going? None of this makes any sense to me. And then you come back Monday, and like I said, no Lyra. The tag team champions just won, and I get it. They're SmackDown wrestlers, but they are the women's tag team champions, are they not? They don't just work on SmackDown. They're now going to be working both shows. Am I right? Okay. So I can understand you keeping them off Raw for now and putting them back on SmackDown because they're SmackDown girls. They just got the titles. Let them show up on their home show. Right? Cool. I got you. But if it was me, I would have had them show up on Raw too. They would have been there. I'm not even trying to be funny. But I understand why they weren't. I'm not shitting on that part. I understand why they weren't. I'm not saying that, they was wrong for that booking. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it was me and I was booking the show, I would have definitely had them show up on there. Maybe if TV is loud. Hold on, y'all. I had to put some lip gloss on because my lips are dry. My bad, y'all. Oh, shit. Kayla, it really doesn't matter who won in the match. It doesn't matter. I thought she was, Kira. I'm not crazy. I thought she was. Danhausen paid the mini housing so they could get some decent meal houses. Appreciate you, Mikey. The problem is they will overuse Danhausen if they aren't careful. And that's another problem. Danhausen had a huge block on Monday Night Raw today. And again, I get it because he had a big moment at Madison Square Garden. But you didn't that's the thing. You gave Danhausen this massive block of time on Raw. But you didn't give Lyra or Bayley an opportunity to either continue or start something new. You didn't do anything. You left her off. Lyra got a big win at Madison Square Garden against Bayley. She choked out Bayley. You should have had her on that show. If she wasn't there, she should have been there to be leering down Liv Morgan, or she should have been there leering down Sol Ruka. Something should have been happening with Lyra where she is progressing forward. I don't know. I don't understand. And I'm like, while I get Danhausen had a big moment, he's a big star for Raw, and he's just a big star for the show in general because he operates on both shows. He's not just on Raw, he's on SmackDown too. Okay. My problem is you're not capitalizing on the right things, and you're letting us sit here and have to watch Judgment Day implode by Danhausen. They should have been imploded. They should have been. Where the fuck was Raquel and Roxanne? Where was they at? They weren't nowhere to be found. There were only 3 members of Judgment Day there. Now, we had 3 segments with them. 2 of them was backstage vignettes. The rest of them was 2 matches that happened. JD McDonough ended up having to wrestle against Obafemi. They gave Obafemi a throwaway match today. Sure. Love you down. Do whatever you gotta do. Obafemi decimated JD McDonough. It was fun to watch because, JD McDonough's a heel and Obafemi's like an anti-hero. So it was fun to watch him beat people up. Cool. Then we had Paulina back there cutting promos about how Brock Lesnar's the king of the ring, of the Hell in a Cell, and how he's going to continue his 2-match streak. Let me explain to you what he's saying. Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker in both of his Hell in a Cell matches. The Undertaker. Sasha Banks has had more well-rounded Hell in a Cell matches than he has. It's just getting to the point where you can't suspend reality anymore. Your brain is trying to make sense of what's happening, and it's just like, okay, dude. But he claims he's the king of the Hell in a Cell, and he didn't want to use the word violence because he didn't want to scare anybody off, and he's going to embarrass Obafemi. And I'm like, all right, wrap this shit up. Let's get this shit over with because we're done. I done had a fuck enough. I really, really, really have. Oh, what show? I saw Nicole's comment. I'm finna get to it. It doesn't sound confusing to me, at least. Okay. She is about to cut a promo on that thing clicking if it doesn't stop. It was just so loud. It was a fan in my nephew's room, and it's just clicking. I'm like, what the? I'm like, please turn it off. Please go turn it the fuck off. Is he sleeping there?
She downstairs.
Oh, okay. Dang, bro, I fell asleep at the end of the tag match and woke up to Roman holding the trophy up because it took him 20 minutes to say whatever the fuck he needed to say. And it was so annoying. I'm like, damn, just suck his dick already, please. So we can go home. I would have left. If I was at Madison Square Garden, I would have walked out. Because you're not going to have me sitting up there looking at you, cheesing and shit. And no, fuck you and that. I don't give a fuck about that. They all do look the same. All the niggas in the NBA that's tall and light skinned look exactly the same. They either really, really light skinned or they look like Tyrese Halliburton. They lanky and they got real long arms like Gumby. They all look the same. That's true. The main event match was 30 seconds shot of 15 minutes because of that long ass segment. It just did it. It just, Danhausen's segment lasted from the time they hemmed him up backstage till JD McDonough had his match with Oba. Then Joe Hendry had his match with Dominic Mysterio. That was one big ass segment. It all ran together. Now they did split it because if I recall, they had Chad, Penta, Rusev, and Ethan in the middle of that. They kind of split them up to do that, which fine, whatever. I just wasn't a fan of Raw today. It just wasn't good. SmackDown was a better show. I will give SmackDown that. Raw just didn't do what it was supposed to do, in my opinion. It was supposed to be fun. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't interesting. It just was a mess. It was a mess, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. Usually JC would jump on an opportunity to brag. Yeah, she would. I'm mad at this the show my friend went to. Well, what show was it, Nicole? What happened? Um, or at least bring out her barnacle garb and give her like 15 seconds on the screen. Something. Give Lyra something. I may not like the bitch, but at least she did what she said she was gonna do. And you gotta give her some time to be able to feed off of that. They didn't do that. And I don't understand why they didn't. I guess that was a blessing in disguise that I didn't go this past Saturday because I would have crashed out. Okay. I'm talking Saturday night's main event. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you right. You are right. The main event match was 30 seconds shy of 15 minutes. Because yeah, it was. But I mean, it did what it was supposed to. You know, it wasn't bad. I just wish they would have ended with them rather than ending it with Roman because it just wasn't worth the time or the effort. Roman should have been at the top of the hour for that second half of Saturday Night Main Event. He should have hit that place at 9 o'clock, came out there and did they 1-2 diddly because at the end of the day, the show was still Saturday Night Main Event. It was not the New York Knicks celebration. That's not what that was. And they already had one. That's the part that's pissing me off. They already had a celebration. Like, please. Anyways, so next week, Joe Hendry and Danhausen are going to have a concert. We're also going to see Raquel face off against Sol Ruka again. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. There's a couple other shows or matches they're supposed to have. I don't know exactly what everything is going to be. All I know is they're supposed to have, some more stuff happening. Oh, they're going to have some face-offs. Oba and what's his name? What's that blockheaded ass his name? Brock Lesnar. Oba and Brock Lesnar are supposed to face off. Roman and Seth are supposed to face off. Now, earlier in the night, Solo called out Seth and was like, look, I'll have your back at SummerSlam. If we band together, we could take them out. I can't stand my family, and it would be nothing but my pleasure to cost him everything. Right? So, of course, Seth denied it. Seth like, look, give me some time to think about it. Because he said, real talk, it would be smart for us to band together, but I don't really know if I can trust you or not. I don't know if I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you was once a part of the fold. And who's to say you won't go back in? Look what happened with Jimmy. Look what happened with Jay. Okay, cool. So then Jacob come down there. Jacob comes down and starts fighting Solo. Well, Solo gets out the ring and walks away. And because he don't have nothing to do with Jacob. And then Seth just super kicks Jacob dead in his shit. Now he know that Jacob can't do nothing unless he's given the order to do so. Personally, I think Jacob is just following orders for now. And once he does go rogue, it's gonna be a problem. Right? But I don't know. I mean, he went to Seth backstage, or Seth went to him backstage and was like, come on, Jacob, go ahead and hit me. You got all the time in the world to be able to hit me. Like, go ahead and do it. And Jacob wouldn't do it. And he was just like, oh, okay. It's because your tribal chief you're under strict orders from the tribal chief not to touch me until SummerSlam. And he was just like, it's okay. He said, when I beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, and I take that championship back, does that mean that I get his little bag boy too? And of course, Jacob didn't like that shit. He took offense to that. So Jacob was like, when the tribal chief gets done with you, if there's anything left of you, I'm going to beat your ass. And Seth was just like, I look forward to it. And he walked away. So he's poking the wolf, shall we say. Okay? Anyways. Raw gets an F for me. It was terrible. It wasn't a good show. It had good moments. It had good segments. Like, of course, we know that the Judgment Day has been cursed multiple times. At this point, it's just becoming a ritual. I don't know. Maybe the first 7 curses didn't take. So Dan Halverson keeps cursing them over and over again. Maybe we don't know how long the curses last. But I'm sorry, once he cursed them once, it should be nothing but a domino effect of trauma. That's what happened with The Miz and Kit Wilson. I don't understand why that's not happening with these hoes. Okay, I'm very fucking confused. But anyways, Danhausen got punched in the face by Liv Morgan. He left, went and got EO, brought EO back. EO came in, took out Liv Morgan because Liv Morgan kept interfering in the match between Dominic and Joe Hendry. The distraction was enough that the referee did not see Danhausen got in the ring and basically took out Dominic, and this gave Joe the win. So he was able to pick up a win over Dominic Mysterio. Now, not only does Dom have to worry about Danhausen at SummerSlam, but he also has a true rivalry going on in AAA against Perros del Mal. And his partner is his future opponent, El Grande Americano. Okay, it's a lot going on in AAA. I highly recommend that y'all go and watch it because from the Luchadoras to the Luchadors to Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano, it's a lot going on. Perros del Mal is there and they are doing a lot of damage in AAA, and it's a very interesting sight to see. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because Undertaker is there and he's running the ship that everybody is so keyed in on AAA. But it's a good show nonetheless, and everybody's having a good time watching it. So I highly recommend that y'all watch it because it is very good. Absolutely not. Raw gets a fucking F, Mikey. It gets an F. It gets an F. I'm not giving it a B+. A B+ is crazy. Anywhoosies. There's really nothing else to talk about when it comes to Raw. I'm sure somebody else will think of something else, but I just don't care. I don't care enough to talk about it. So let's talk about SummerSlam because SummerSlam is in a week. It is August 1st and August 2nd. So it's a lot going on. And we have we got the 6-man tag team match. This is how Raw ended with all 6 of these men out there competing. More specifically, 2 of them were competing in a match and the other 4 were waiting around for shit to go down, and then they each individually came out on their own time. But it was the Bloodline that was standing tall over Keys, Knight, and Sikoa. Excuse me. And then we have the big kahuna matches. Okay, so we have Cody Rhodes facing off against CM Punk. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes seem to be at odds finally. They seem to be at odds because at Saturday Night Main Event, CM Punk was doing really petty shit. Like I told y'all in the previous video, when CM Punk was standing in the back and they were talking, CM Punk intentionally stood in front of that man. I saw him do it. He claims there was nothing that he did that was intentional. He wasn't trying to be, disrespectful. And then Cody was like, okay, well, since, we're on the same page, who goes out first? And he says, well, I am the champion. Champion usually goes out second. Cody's like, all right, great, fine. Hit my music? Thanks. And he just goes out. So Cody's already irritated by the slight shade that CM Punk kept doing. Then we get to outside in the arena. They win. Everything seems to be going smooth. And then all of a sudden, he throws the belt over his shoulder. Cody's still standing there. He throws the belt over his shoulder and hits Cody dead in the face with the belt. Like, Cody was like, what the fuck was that? And I agree, because what are we doing? Now, he gets in the back, and the backstage exclusive shows Cody go ballistic. full Homelander. What the fuck was that? You slapped that belt in my face. Did you do that shit on purpose? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? CM Punk's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. I apologize. I didn't intentionally hit you in the face like that. I wasn't trying to hit you in the face like that. And Cody was mad. Cody was in his face. He was like, get the cameras out of my fucking face. We need to have a conversation because you are tripping. And CM was like, wait, I didn't do it on purpose. So you had that moment. Then we head to SummerSlam kickoff this past week. And it was Sunday, I believe the kickoff was, right? It was on Sunday. And then you see it on Sunday that they're out there and Cody's just like, you hit me in my face with the belt. You've been acting weird. All of a sudden you're kumbaya and like, what the fuck is going on? And CM Punk is like, look, I said it was an accident and I apologize for hitting you in your face with the belt. That was not something that I wanted to do. But this you can be mad at. And he mushed him in his face.
This was on purpose.
And that was on purpose. So he mushed him in the face. The sheriffs are up there. They got the sheriffs with the hats. Real police was up there, okay? And they stopped them from fighting, but couldn't stop Gunther and Nick Aldis from going at it. That made a lot of sense. Sure. Anyways. I'm so sick of y'all shit. I don't know what to do. Anyway, so I don't know why they did not make this heat up a little bit more prior to this. They didn't. They just gave us little hints. I don't think they're going to be finished. I think they're going to continue their rivalry past SummerSlam. And this just might be the moment that Cody Rhodes turns, which I would not mind. Because this right now we need something new. We do. We need something new. He's been on the verge of doing it, and everybody's like, and Cody's saying that he doesn't want to turn, and I'm just like, yeah, who cares what you want? Nobody cares what you want. Do what you need to do for the company. It's what's best for business. Isn't that what your OG boss used to say? It's what's best for business. Yeah, do what's best for business, not what's best for you. Okay. Triple A is fired. The Undertaker is doing a hell of a job. Yeah, it's a very good show. And it's only an hour. Yeah. I think I have something outside.
Yeah, you do. We're gonna get a text message.
Okay. 2 weeks, technically 12 and 13 days away. Okay. You think he got his feelings hurt because Cody got the victory music? I don't think so. I do think that CM Punk is a psychological warfare type of wrestler. And I think that he does what he needs to get underneath people's skin. And he will do that. He did it with Seth. He did it with Roman. But with Cody, he's a bit more subtle. And I just think that there is intention in everything that he does, depending on his opponent. He knows that Cody rests in this professional realm and constantly wants to keep things, we're friends, we're cool, but this is about the title. But I know that he did what he did on purpose. I can feel it. There's no way he didn't. He was standing right next to the man. There's no way he didn't know that Cody was there when he flipped the belt. The belt, that part that hit him was the thickest part of the belt. Like, come on. You call that Gunther and Nick Aldis match. I know. And I can't even be happy about it because they're making me so angry. They're pissing me off so bad. I just wish WWE would just fucking just do better. It's not hard to do. AEW was able to fix it. Like, come on. You have all the money in the world and you can't do anything. It's like having a bunch of Nepo babies running the goddamn company and you're all incompetent and stupid. And it's just dumb. Nah, because I would have let Nick go. Gunther needs a humbling. The small stuff matters, and that is why I like this story. Exactly. It's very, very, very subtle with them. It's not over the top. It's not grand. It's not big promos in your face like with Seth and Roman or with Roman and CM Punk. It's very minute things. It's very little. If you're not paying attention, you will miss it. But I know for a fact that that man is doing that shit on purpose. You can't convince me that he isn't. You can't convince me that he isn't. Anyways, let's move on to the next match. So we got Gable and Penta. They are scheduled to face off at SummerSlam as well. No word on which matches go on which day. I assume that they will handle that probably sometime next week when they do some type of press conference or whatever on YouTube. You know, they got to do all this extra rah shit. Anyways, we got Roman and Seth for the World Heavyweight title as well at SummerSlam. And then we have Liv Morgan. She will be facing off against Io Sky for her championship. You can put it down. And then we have probably one of the most anticipated matches of the night. We've got Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. This is part 3, and this is inside Hell in a Cell. This one I am looking forward to because I just want to see some carnage. Like, let's just whoop some ass and be done with it. And then this match is going to be my favorite. I know that Nick Aldis is going to bring the heat. I know that him and Gunther are going to bring the house down. This is going to be a match that everybody is going to be talking about. And I promise you it's going to be a good time. One way or another, it's going to be a good time. Then you have this match, which I'm actually looking forward to the most. This is the interim women's championship match for SmackDown. And right now you have 2 people who have qualified, Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. We don't know the other matches that are set up for qualifiers or who's going to be in it. But I wish they would have removed Tiffany and had her defend her championship and let somebody else qualify for this match. It's a ladder match as well. And I would have liked if JC Jane was in this match. I think she would have done very, very well in that matchup. I'm sorry, got a double thing here. And let's move on to the last match they booked. That's Nick Aldis. Okay. And the last match that they announced, they haven't had the infographic up yet, is Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. They're set to go against each other at SummerSlam as well. So we got a lot going on. So that match is already, this match is already a mess. I 1000% agree. I hate that I don't like when they have champions competing for champions again. I don't mind it if they're challenging a champion, but when you have a title and you could just put that championship on the card for SummerSlam, you're wasting my time by putting them in a ladder match. And I don't want Tiffany Stratton to win. And I have a sneaking suspicion that it's either going to be Stratton or Cargill. And if I'm being honest, give it back to Jade Cargill and really give her a title run this time. But now Friday, you've got Charlotte competing against Nia. And to be honest, I love Charlotte down. I don't want to see Nia Jax in a ladder match. I would rather see Charlotte in that type of match. I think Charlotte would fare better in that match. Nia is not one of my favorite people inside those specialty type of matches. She does not do well, whether it be War Games, Hell in a Cell, anything like that. Like, she hasn't been in a Hell in a Cell match, but anything specialty stipulation wise, she does not do well. And I have a suspicion. I'm making a prediction now, so some of y'all might be looking at me like I'm crazy. But I think heading into War Games, you already know who's going to be competing in it. For War Games, when it comes to the men, it's more than likely going to be some iteration of the Bloodline and LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys. For the women, I think it's going to either be the Baddies and Jade Cargill, or it will be the what's their names? Fatal Influence and probably Blake Monroe competing in that match against some iteration of Charlotte, Bliss, maybe Paige, maybe Brie. Something in that realm, some mix up of those girls in those storylines are the most dominant ones for the women currently, and I think that it's going to go in that wheelhouse somewhere. Um, I'm not quite sure 1000%, but I have an inkling that it's going to go in that way somehow. Bree, Paige, Charlotte, and Bliss. Oh, well, I don't know. Because I feel like at SummerSlam, they're going to book the tag team titles for SummerSlam against Bree and Paige. And something's going to happen to Paige. They're probably going to attack her and take her out. And then Nikki Bella's probably going to show up there. Because she didn't show up at Madison Square Garden, which I would have had her show up there. But she didn't. It is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, SummerSlam seems to be in the books, and we got a couple PLEs after that. So we have Money in the Bank set for October 10th, and this is on a Saturday, and they're going to be in New Orleans. Okay, the poster for this is actually pretty fire. I assume that after SummerSlam, they're going to start the qualifier matches either late October, because in the end of October, I mean, not end of October, but the end of August, they have another PLE at the end of August, if I recall. Still hate Money in the Bank being in October. Yeah, well, nothing we can do about it, babes. It is what it is. In September, on the 6th, they have Sunday night main event. They're going to be in Atlanta, and you know Roman is going to be on that card for something. Not quite sure what he's going to be on the card for, but he's going to be on the card for something. Now, if I recall, they had something booked for the end of August this year. I'm not quite sure what that is. Doesn't matter. No, but I can complain. Fair enough. Fair enough. Because if there's one thing I'm going to do, it's bitch and moan. Well, you said it, not me. Nice. Now, look, I'll be back on Wednesday, and I will watch NXT tomorrow. I will watch it. I usually take a break because I like my brain to not be mush, okay? But I'm feeding for some decent wrestling, and hopefully NXT will give me one. If I see Kendall Gray all over my screen, I'm just not going to be a happy camper. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But I'll watch NXT tomorrow, and then Wednesday we'll come back and we'll talk about NXT, and we'll just have a conversation. We're just going to chill like we always do. And then I'll be back Friday, like we always do, and we'll round this week out. And next week is when we will start doing predictions and all that good stuff. Please don't forget to go over to Down for the Count's YouTube page and subscribe, because next Sunday, this Sunday coming actually, we're going to go live. We're going to talk about all the shows. We're going to talk about all the results. And we're going to talk about the current card for SummerSlam, because it's a lot. And by then, we'll have more matches booked. From what I've seen and heard, they want to have anywhere from 13 to 14 matches for the 2-night event. So that equals out to about 6 or 7 matches per show. Okay? So if that's the case, they got a lot more work to do within this small time frame. So we'll see. Trick Williams still has to be scheduled for SummerSlam because he was supposed to have a match at SummerSlam. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if they'll have Baron Corbin included in this match, or if they will have Trick Williams and Carmelo and Ricky Saints included in this match. Because if you saw, Ricky Saints was watching that match between Melo and Trick Williams. It looks like he's still invested. So you have that going on. Over on Raw, the tag team titles aren't being defended. The SmackDown tag team titles haven't got a match and aren't being defended yet either. So I'm very curious as to what they're going to do for both of those titles. And I'm hoping that they give the Street Profits another match at SummerSlam. And I'm also hoping that Truth and Priest have a match at SummerSlam as well. There are a lot of variables that aren't covered. A lot of people could be showing up at SummerSlam as well, which we'll talk about all of those things on the other YouTube channel as well. I promise we'll go over everything. Again, don't forget to subscribe to Down for the Count podcast. Just type it in to YouTube search box and you'll find us. We'll be right there, and you guys will get the notifications every time we go live. Okay. So don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to my other channels. And if you act up over here, you get your 5 minutes of fame and we will give you your time. But we got Pop Culture Wednesdays over on my other channel. Stuff I want to talk about podcasts. I usually collab with Don every week to do just different topics that he picks, and we do a pretty decent job of that. And that usually will go up on Pop Culture Wednesday on my Spotify, and it's a pretty good time. If you haven't watched it, please do. Don's channel is Honestly Let's Talk. You can go and watch some of the stuff that we filmed over there as well. So NXT will be a B plus as well. I think NXT will be a better show, Mikey, honestly. I wouldn't give it a grade just yet, because if it's bad, I'm going to give it an F, 1000%. But to make myself feel better, I'm going to play Janae's music because I love her music and it's fun to listen to. So I hope you guys enjoy her song that she created. And she's my homegirl and I love her down. She hasn't been around a lot. We miss her over here in these parts. But if you love good music, then you can go over to TikTok and follow her. She posts her music over there every single week. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Just hit the weekend. Got a bottle of Grandma ready. Got a shorty, I've been vibing with steadily. We feeling each other heavy. She got that energy, it's electric. West Coast girl, she classic. Damn, she got that magic. She real, never fake, no style. She got that summertime. We out here living right now. She got that summertime. Ain't thinking about nothing else. Went through all 3 seasons. She my summertime for a reason. She got that
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.